American Timelines is a member of the Queen City Podcast Network. Find out more at queencitypodcastnetwork.com.
So now I'm obsessed with time. Come on, tell me about the time. Had it all in my hand tonight. Had the time of my life. When the words all come down like blues on Tuesdays come down. Throw it all away. Throw it all away.
What's up, time heads? This is another Friend Check episode. Amy will be back next time as we jump into 1942. But for now, I'm slogging through this Friend Check project where I scour my Facebook friend list to reconnect with each person and ask, are we actually friends? Why are we Facebook friends? Who actually are you? And should we stay Facebook friends? I really think it's important to reach out to every single person I'm connected to and have a conversation. You can't believe the stories that come out of this. This is really fun. I'm having a great time doing it, and I hope you like it too. I try to make the stories accessible to everybody, even if they're inside jokes. But this one is a rare one because this is Aaron Crane. He's a guy we went to middle school with. Aaron Crane is a father, a husband, a vice president of operations, a Miami University Redhawk, a son of an elementary school teacher who was my second grade teacher, and a guy we went to middle school with. Yes, his mom taught us, and she did not care for Steve and I, Gruff and I, and so that's a funny thing that comes up. Listen to us talk about that. That might be uncomfortable. We haven't spoken to Aaron since 8th grade graduation because his parents made him go to a different high school, and even though it was in the same town, we still lost touch. Listen as we catch up and reminisce. We talk about a class reunion where a foreign exchange student gets dropped on his head. We reminisce about school days, including getting paddled, food fights, roughhousing accidents, playing ding-dong ditch. We even talk about somebody who got in trouble and got sentenced to clean a booger wall in high school, the infamous booger wall at Northwood High School. Gruff and I have a little conversation before Aaron joins us, so listen to us as we banter and wait for Aaron Crane to join. He joins in a little bit, and I think we had a great time catching up. It was amazing how no time had passed. Here's the Aaron Crane episode, a guy we went to middle school with. I'm sure you have pictures of your Prince Albert that you were just staring at. Right?
No, I don't have any pictures of my Prince Albert. Why would I have pictures of my Prince Albert?
I don't know.
I mean, I can stare at the actual piercing.
The actual
like
hole.
I can stare at the jewelry, and then I can stare at the hole if I twist my cock around. Yeah.
How often do you do that? Stare at the hole in your cock.
I rarely look at it. I mean, I clean myself. I don't need to look at it.
Yeah. I don't know why it's so funny to me. Like why I want to.
I mean, it's amusing to me, honestly.
We're about to jump on with our third guest, Aaron Crane.
We're taking a dip.
We're in our friend dip, the friend
dip
dip podcast,
friendship.
or maybe the Friend Check podcast. We're still naming it.
Hey, man. It was titled Friend Dip today, so it could be Friend Dip today. I don't see a problem. Yeah, taking a dip in friendship.
Friend dip, fun dip, friend dip. We're gonna friendship.
Got to be careful with that fun dip because that's. I think that might be trademarked or something.
Yeah, I'm sure we can't say fun dip.
No,
but
I mean, if we had fun dip, maybe we could.
Dip.
Maybe
they would sponsor us if we're friend dip.
Yeah,
have fun dip on the Friend Dip podcast.
Or fun dip on
we're
the
dipping into what the hell are our friends doing, and are we friends? Who are these people? In fact, I was just looking through my friends list today because I created some comedy events on Facebook. I'm trying to invite people to the event, and maybe I'll get more people to come.
Nice.
But the option is you have to go through your entire list, invite friends, and then it's just the list of every. So I got to scroll down. There's no way to I'm sure there is a way to do it, but I don't know how to filter the friends out. I just want the friends that are in the Charlotte area. I just want these, because I don't want to invite people from all over the country to a stupid bar event.
It's not stupid with two O's.
Yeah. Stupid, awesome.
Well, yeah, no, I try to, I use, I try not to use negative language,
But as I was
as
looking
much.
through all these friends, I realized how many of these, like when we get to some of these on our podcast, if they join,
Mhm.
there's going to be some weird, uncomfortable conversations. Because some of these
Well,
people, I
those could be the
don't,
short ones. Maybe those can be bundled together.
some are, I will be like, okay, I'm going to come clean. Who the hell are you? Like, why are we? Do I know you? Like, I knew you at some point. And I know there's people that won't know who I am, but we are like friends at one point, or we met each other. Like, there was a time in Ohio when I lived there after Chicago where I met two stand-up comedians at Grumpy Dave's. They're doing like an open mic comedy night. And I met the two comedians, like, oh, I didn't know you guys were doing this. I'm gonna be up here all the time. I'm gonna write. Yeah, we come up early and we write. Oh yeah, I'll write with you guys. We're gonna be best friends. We friend each other on Facebook, and I never went back again. And
Right.
so, and we're still friends. I'm still friends with both of them. And I don't know why. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I just
that's
haven't pulled the trigger
thing.
on unfriending.
You just said why you were. You just don't know why you still are.
Right. That's
And
kind
by
of what
connecting
it is.
with them, maybe this rekindles not just the memory, but the want, the desire for friendship, because it's all about human connection.
Well, I think they've
right?
both. It is about human connection.
Yeah.
I think they've both like stopped doing comedy since, but I'd like to ask them if they're doing the same thing as I do. Like, when I come across them, I'm like, should I just unfriend these guys? And then I think about it, like, I don't know. I guess I don't really. There's nothing that's moving me to unfriend them, but there's nothing moving me to, make friends except this podcast. Like, to really, I want to analyze every single one.
Yeah.
And that said, so Aaron Crane is next. He's the second Aaron. Aaron Crane technically didn't go to our same high school.
No, I don't think
He's
he
a
did.
middle school friend of ours.
Yes.
And it'll delve into elementary because Aaron Crane's mom was our second grade teacher. That's what I think will be the focus of this episode, I'm guessing.
The focus of, hey, your mom taught us.
Yes, and we apologize. Like,
we apologize for being shitty kids.
That's gonna be the apology, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
no,
just
it'll
like
be-
and,
it'll
and
be-
be 100% honest. Does she hate us? Does
Well,
she
I mean,
hate
no.
us? Because I think she hates us.
Well, I mean, I would
Me,
rather, I'd rather just, no, I mean, there'd be no just you. It would be both of us.
You don't want to
Brett
know.
Burns.
You don't want to know if she hates you.
I mean, if she did, yeah, I would like him to get off his chest. I don't know.
I mean, he
No,
probably
'cause I
doesn't
feel-
care at all about it.
No, I imagine it as soon as we start apologizing for things that we did in second grade, it's gonna feel like the most twisted. I don't remember what step on the 12-step program, maybe 7, where you
Yeah.
apologize for everything.
Well, that's
No, but
if
like
you
for
recall.
childhood.
If you recall, the original idea I had for this podcast was the apology tour, like the apology podcast, where I'm going to get everybody I've ever met and apologize to them for something, and I'll find something to apologize for.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that,
no,
so
I
I
don't
still
think
like
it'd be
that
really-
angle. We still could find
Yeah.
that.
I don't think it.
I feel like
I
I
don't
tried
think
to
it-
apologize to Aaron Sinclair. I don't know
Well,
if I.
I think you made a roundabout apology for just assuming that he was like the character he portrayed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you were gay, or I'm sorry I didn't know you better, or I'm sure I have something to apologize for. And he kind of was like, no, I didn't think anything. I don't know that I apologized to AJ Foster. I don't think I apologized to him at all. But I'm drinking something called Lil Slurp.
Oh,
It's by Noda Brewing in Charlotte, North Carolina. Noda is an area of Charlotte called Noda for North Davidson. It's a North Davidson street. It's like where all the cool hippie stuff is, like
cool hipster or cool hippie?
Hipster, I guess, like tattoo shops, and like, you smoke weed everywhere, and
Music shops,
music shop,
they
like
have
independent
record stores,
yeah, and like bands will play, and like there's a
maybe
bar
a
where you can bring
bookseller,
dogs in. There's a bookstore. There's a cat cafe.
a cat cafe. I was just gonna ask, is there a cafe?
You can bring
of some
cats.
sort?
You can bring cats in there.
That sounds like a nice place to spend an afternoon.
They do open mics, and there's a bar called the Evening Muse that has like stand-up comedy, and it'll have
Muse.
the Evening Muse, yeah, and they'll have
Wow.
like indie
like
bands
that.
will play there and stuff.
Well,
it's real
that's a
small.
nice.
You can only probably fit 100 and I would say 150 people in there.
Well, that's just a nice intimate show.
Yeah, you would love that. You would love Noda. In fact,
Well,
I regret not taking you to Noda when you were here. I'm just realizing that right now.
No, it's okay. That just means there's reason for me to come back. Besides, the last time I was there, I wasn't really in a condition, nor were we in a state to do touring.
That's right. It was pretty much
we were kind of
pandemic-y.
focused on stuff.
Yeah, we're busy.
Yeah.
So we got 2 minutes until Aaron Crane time. So
Maybe
anything you want to get off your chest with Aaron Crane? Is there anything,
No, I mean,
any
I
memories
think
you have where he wronged you?
no, I don't
Or are
think
you
he
going to
wronged
demand
me
an
in it.
apology
I
from
don't
him?
believe he wronged me in any way. I generally assume I unconsciously wronged him. You know, years later, I realized it was like one of those things where you're like, "Holy shit, I was an asshole."
Do you have
Or like,
anything? Do you have anything specific you'd like to
no,
apologize to him for?
no, no.
Not one thing. There's nothing
Like
that comes to mind. Like, oh, I did this thing to him.
if I mean, I'm gonna lay back. I'm gonna fall back on the second grade thing. If there's anything that I feel the need to apologize for, is like his day may have been harder because we made like her day at work shitty.
Yeah.
You know, as an adult who's had some shitty days at work that have taken it out on people I care about,
Yeah.
I can understand that. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, he's in the waiting room. Are you ready for Aaron Crane? Should I let him in? Or
I'm
you
as
want
ready for
anything
Aaron
else?
Crane as I am.
Anything
No,
else you want to get off your chest before we add him to the room?
no. I mean, I think anything you want to get off your chest before we had him. I mean, is there anything you want to pre-touch on before jumping in?
He killed my parents. No,
What?
just kidding. No, here he
Okay,
comes.
that makes sense.
Here comes Aaron Crane. We're letting him in the room. Let's see how long it takes him to join. Oh, there's a
Aaron
picture.
Crane.
There's a good looking picture of him.
There's a fine looking picture. A good still.
Whoa!
There's a moving
Whoa!
picture. Hello, sir.
Oh my gosh!
Hello, Aaron Crane.
I
How
feel
are
like I've been
you?
transported back in time.
I mean, our facial hair is a little bit fuller, but yeah.
Welcome back to junior high, my friend.
I know. I think that was the last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it probably is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, where are you? Your background is just a blank wall, white wall.
I'm in my basement, which
Oh, okay.
doubles as my office.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
not too glamorous.
Yeah.
Is it comfortable?
I'm quite comfortable. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, no, that's all
Yeah.
that matters, really.
Yeah,
No.
Steve's almost always comfortable. Are you in a bathrobe, Steve, right now?
I am not in a bathrobe.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
in a bathrobe. Actually, the bathrobe that I would normally be wearing at this time is being used as a costume in a show that I'm doing at the local theater.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
So are you in a smoking jacket? What is that?
No, this is just a button-up shirt.
Oh, it's a
with,
shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you wearing a kilt?
I am wearing a house skirt right now.
Where physically are you? You're quite dark.
Oh, I actually live, this is my living room.
Okay.
And it's I like it because it has the basement style paneling. I'm on a third floor. My windows are almost floor to ceiling length, but for these purposes, they're covered. I call it my second floor walk up basement.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you walk up 2 flights of stairs and you immediately feel like you're underground.
Oh,
So
awesome.
yeah.
Now I'm self-conscious about my background. This
No, yeah.
This is where I sit all day. This is
So
I work here.
You work from home.
I work from home. Yeah.
What do you do?
I work for a software company called Team Dynamics. I don't do any programming. I don't any of that. I run the group that the consulting team that helps our clients actually configure and deploy the software.
Okay.
Nice.
So I've been there for since 2011, so quite a while.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's been
Kind of
a
what
bit.
I've done, I guess, my whole career, like worked in software consulting technology, I guess.
You're the bridge. You're the bridge between
Right, I'm
your
a people
company and the customer.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But you lead the team that does the deployment, or do
Yes.
you work
yeah,
with customers also?
I do.
You
Yep.
do. Like if it gets escalated, I want to talk to your manager. Then
That's right.
it's
Yeah.
you.
Right.
Then Aaron comes on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go apologize, but no, they're awesome. So I don't have to do that very often. So
Were you at home before pandemic, or did the pandemic make you a home?
made us a home. My company is located here in Columbus. We're not real big, 120 people or something like that. I don't know, maybe a third live in Columbus. The rest are all over the country. But used to go into an office every day. But yeah, the pandemic kind of made us a fully remote organization. So
Yeah.
every now and then we still have it. Every now and then I go in, but depends on the day. Depends
That's
on
cool. That's cool. So a second Aaron in Columbus. So last time, well, this is the third episode that we recorded. So we're
Okay.
still trying to figure out what this is. But the last one was also Aaron in Columbus, and he's also a software employee.
So there you go. It's turned into like a tech podcast. Yeah.
It's starting to, but I'm sure it'll get comedy heavy because I'm looking through my Facebook friends. Most of them are comedians that I've met like once or twice that want me to book them on shows and stuff. So I figured it would be mostly comedians, but what I love is the wild cards, the people I haven't talked to in forever. Like, I have no idea where you are or what you're doing now.
Exactly. I just like context clues. You're in Columbus. That's wonderful.
Yeah. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. That's right. Yep.
You've been there for a while?
Yeah, since I so from the Toledo area, I went to school at Miami University in Oxford, Miami, Ohio.
Okay.
And then moved here right after. So
nice.
98.
So did you know Ben Roethlisberger? Isn't that where he went?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was a little bit after me.
Oh, he's after you.
That's how old I am.
We're older than Ben Roethlisberger?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit.
I guess we are.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
He came after.
That makes
but no, I didn't know him.
You didn't know him. Because a guy I know named Scott. Do you know a guy named Scott Russell?
You just know a guy.
We should look at our mutual friends. I should have done that. Should have done more research. He's a guy that I knew. Like he married my brother's wife's sister, so he was my brother's brother-in-law. And he went to. I would always talk about Ben Roethlisberger because he went to Miami.
Okay.
He was a little bit younger, so I think he went to school with him. Anyway, so let's get a little background for the listeners. And then, Aaron, as we do this, I'll explain to you what the hell this is. I know I told you a little bit,
which would be nice because
you don't know what's going on either.
Rarely in general. Like I've been through every time he goes through this, it's like a new ride, not because it changes, but because I wipe my mind clean.
And it's changing. It's evolving, I think. I mean, we're trying to figure out. We're figuring out.
Are we friend check? Are we friend dip?
Friend check. It's the Friend Dip podcast. It's the Friend Check podcast. We don't know. No. But the idea came to me one day. I'm not sure. I guess I kind of molded it off of a little bit. My favorite podcast is Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Okay.
I don't know if you listen to that. Do you listen to podcasts at all?
A few, but and I know that one, but I don't listen to it.
You don't listen to it. Okay, that's your biggest mistake. But I didn't for a while, but because I was just like, I like Conan, but he was great. But do I want to listen to another celebrity podcast? And I was way off base because, and at the beginning when I would listen to it, I would fast forward through everything except for the interviews. But then I've realized the best parts are when he's just effing around with his assistant and the guy who produces the podcast. He's just so funny that I just find myself laughing out loud. I'll be doing yard work. I'll just be like laughing out loud because I'm listening to Aaron. I almost said Aaron Crane, Conan O'Brien. Anyway, but his premise is Conan O'Brien needs a friend, and he's interviewing people that have been on his show for years, and he doesn't know if they're actual friends or if they just were acquaintances from the show. And so he's trying to find out, are we actually friends? Now, that was the premise at the beginning, but really it's just evolved into just a podcast where he interviews celebrities. He doesn't really talk about that much anymore, except the beginning. He makes them each say, I feel blank about being Conan O'Brien's friend. And so they say a little funny remark. And then, so they don't really talk about it, but then afterwards he might say, are we going to go to dinner? Are we friends or not? But I thought, what if it was, I've wanted to do a podcast kind of like that type of podcast where you interview people, but they're not famous, like regular people. Like I'm fascinated by regular people like us. And just like
regular people,
like every people,
all three of us.
Yeah.
And I'm also been fascinated by Facebook and just how it works and social media in general and why we do what we do with it. And some people won't even get on. They're like, there's people I know that I'm good friends with. They will not even touch social media. And like, fuck that. Never doing that. Just pick up the phone. It's all fake and bullshit. And it is, but I'm on it a lot and I use it for things. But I'm fascinated with just the fact that we remain friends with all these people And are we really friends, or why do we keep them around? Should we unfriend each other? Like, why do we have it? And then when people unfriend over, when politics get all crazy and people unfriend each other, and it's like, oh, then you feel the bad feelings about that. I'm like, do I need to be friends with every single person I went to high school with and middle school? Not that I don't want to, but I'm just, why am I? And what do other people do? And then people friend me, and sometimes I don't know them at all. And I'm like, why are you friending me? And some are bots that just want to show me their tits or whatever. But other ones are like people that we have a lot of mutual friends. So is their philosophy, hey, we have mutual friends, let's just also be friends and expand our network to the most people? Or is it just like, so I've been having a dilemma lately. I have a list right now. There's like probably 50 people that have requested me that I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure why. So I'm trying to figure that out.
You get a lot of, do you get a lot of like somebody meets you one time and then you get a friend request?
Not a lot, but I've done that sometimes. Steve and I were just talking about that. There's two guys that live in Ohio that ran an open mic night, and I went to one open mic night, and I was going to start doing comedy, and I went there. I met the two guys that ran it, and they're like, yeah, we write here every Monday, and then we do stand up, and you're welcome to be here anytime. And I was like, yes, I want to do this. And I friended both of them, and then I just never went back again. And so I've been friends with both of those guys, and for some reason I see their posts a lot and not other people's. And I think they've both since like quit comedy. They live in Toledo. I don't even know. I don't know why I haven't unfriended them. They haven't done anything to make me unfriend them. But it's like, I think this is just sort of the thing that fascinates me. So I thought, what if I went through the list? So right now I have like 1,400 or some friends. Obviously, I don't know all these people very well. Like, I think I've met just about everybody. Right now, there's a handful of comedians that are friending me because I host a couple open mics, and I have one of the few comedy shows that people get paid. So everybody wants to be my friend. And it's like, now I'm like, oh, geez, I got to get discerned. Like, I got to make a rule, like who and when do I not?
Like you need to make a new profile to have like just
maybe just for that. That's too much. That's so much.
Right. Well, I mean, hey man, I'm almost at a bot level with my own interface with social media. Like, I don't necessarily come off as a real person, and I understand. I just show up and like a bunch of shit and then vanish for months on end.
So those are two different ways.
So Facebook? I mean, do you spend most of your time on Facebook?
Me?
Well, either one, both of you.
Oh no. Like this is the most interaction with Facebook I do, is having this messenger with this
conversation.
That's what I was like, a message on Facebook?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding. A lot of people don't even use Messenger. Yeah. And so when I messaged you, I was like, and you did, and you said you thought I was like been hacked, right?
I thought you got spammed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happens a lot of times when you hear from somebody you don't talk to regularly. And that's another thing I'm fascinated with. Like, why is that? Why are we friends then if we don't even talk to each other? Like, we don't even seek out each other. But it's funny because Aaron Crane, it's like because your name's Aaron, it's 2 A's at the beginning. You're at the top of a lot of people's lists probably.
Yeah.
A while back, I had a thing. I was playing John Madden football, and they have a franchise mode where you can rename like the draft class and everything. I was like, I don't want to just have random computer generated names. So I was like, I'm going to change the entire draft class to people I know. So I pulled up Facebook. I was like, I'll just name them after people I know. And so Aaron Crane's been in every league, but I do that. I do that for about an hour, and then I'm like, this is taking too fucking long. I'm just going to play the game. So there's like every year there's an Aaron Crane that plays.
Oh,
like,
man, how did I do?
You're always awesome because because I order it by how good they are. So like you're always like the best quarterback and everything. So you've been And so I've always wondered, like, if you speak someone's name, like if I type them in Madden, do they somehow know? Do they get a ringing in their ears, or is that a thing? So Aaron Crane's been on my Madden leagues forever because of that.
That's why I was asking if you accept, because at least we have, I mean, it's been a while, but we have some established history.
Yeah.
Versus, you've certainly accumulated quite a few names over the years that.
I will say this is the third one we've done, and you are the one I know the best.
Yeah.
And we have 24 mutual friends.
Oh,
wow. And they got to be all, I would guess they are all.
I would imagine all 24 of us went to middle school.
Yeah, they got to be all like, yeah.
But if I'm just looking real quick. If there's any that aren't, they're all Yeah, they're all people from middle school or high school. I could read all their.
That makes
all
sense.
14 names.
That yay.
Yeah, so there's nobody. I thought maybe
No.
there'd be a time where we'd be like, oh, hey, you know that guy? Oh my God, this would be a great conversation. I know that guy. But there's zero. We only know the same people from middle school.
Cool.
So you were at Northwood 6th, 7th, and 8th, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
And
yes.
then you went to Stritch and
then I went to Cardinal Stritch. Yes.
Cardinal Stritch, yes.
Yep.
So those of you who are listening, we are from a small town, Northwood, Ohio. And Aaron and Steve and I went to one elementary school, and there was a second elementary school, and they were divided by train tracks.
Yeah.
And a landfill.
And a landfill. Yeah.
Train tracks and a landfill.
And Steve and I are from the wrong side of the tracks, the dirt side, where the scumbag Lark dirt balls, they call us.
I prefer dirt ball over scum.
And Aaron is from the right side. But a little caveat is that Aaron's mom taught on the dirt side for at least 1 year.
I gotta ask her. I don't know how long it was. It wasn't. It was a few years, but yeah.
And she taught us in second grade. We had her for second grade. And we were just saying before you got on, she probably hates us.
we weren't saying that she probably hates us. We were hoping she didn't remember us, but we would understand if she remembered us as, oh, those were two of three assholes I had in one
been an
class.
asshole in second grade.
Well, I mean, that's the
your
thing.
assholeness hadn't probably matured.
Well, yeah, but it's just like one of those things. It's like we weren't necessarily easy kids, like the three of us.
I will say,
So.
I will say this. Your mom had to at some point had to call my mom or have her come in and had either maybe it was just a conference or something. And she said, because my mom's told the story a million times, and it was your mom who told her that it's clear he has no responsibilities at home. Like you don't. Like he's not responsible at all. Like you guys need. And my mom's answer was, oh no, he's like the dog. Like he's the youngest. Like I have 3 older brothers, and they're like, no, we don't make him do anything. He's like the baby. We don't do anything. It's like it shows. You need to make him do something. And so she tells that story all the time. She's like, yeah, you were just like the family dog to us. So you didn't really. And so I mean, I don't think she was mad about it, but she also had to have a rough year that year because that was the year. I don't know if they did it at Alney too, but they combined second and third grade in one classroom. And so she had, I don't know, probably 60 kids or something, like twice.
It was a ridiculous sized class for the time.
And it was a nightmare for her. Yeah, she had to be so stressed. So that's what we really want to apologize to you. If your second grade year was rough, we're sorry. If your mom
We're sorry because we might have had a hand in it.
I'm gonna see her. I'll see her. It's my dad's birthday this week. I'll see her Wednesday.
Nice.
Oh, good. So she.
So I'm gonna. Depending on how this goes, I'm gonna fill her in on.
Yes. Is she gonna come down to Columbus? Or are you going up to?
She lives. Yeah, she lives here. She lives.
Oh, she's in Columbus. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't know why I assume she's still at North. I mean, obviously she's retired, right?
Yeah. My dad. They've I don't know. They've lived down here for a while. I can't remember. It's 10 years or so.
Okay. Yeah. And what is your dad? Is he retired also?
Yep.
What was his?
He worked he worked for Huntington Bank.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
He was always in the banking industry, and Huntington was his last stint, so he was there for a while.
And you have children, I'm assuming.
I do. Yep. I've got 3 kids. Yep.
3 kids, and you're married.
I'm married. Yep.
Yes. And how? What are the ages of the kids?
What's the spread?
The spread is.
What's the spread?
I have my daughter Ava is 17.
Wow.
My younger daughter Lily is 14. So they're all about 3 years apart. We talked about that. And my son Bennett will be 12, coming up on 12.
Okay.
11. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
So well spaced.
Yeah, that's very well spaced. Yeah, I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old also.
Yeah, so
which is great. I mean, it's about the time that we did it, but
both girls. Both girls.
I got a boy and a girl.
Okay.
My son is 17 and my daughter's 14.
Okay.
But yeah, so my son turns 18 this summer, which is I'm having a hard time. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, we're old. I mean, I don't know why I was shocked when you said your oldest is 17. I'm like, whoa, you're old. I also have a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Supposed to be. Yeah.
You know, it's like I get jarred back into reality sometimes. Like I think of myself as 28. I don't know why 28 is one in my mind.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, same. Totally the same. Yeah, mid-20s for sure.
Yeah, and then like I don't know if you do this, but I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I'm like, oh, who the fuck's that guy? Like, what's the?
Yeah.
Where's the
Well,
old
maybe
beard?
less
Like-
so because he doesn't have like a big salt and pepper beard like you.
Yeah, it's pretty.
He looks to take a little bit better care.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying
It's a lot
anything.
more salt when you get closer. It's like a lot
Yeah.
more salt. But from
Yeah, but
here,
you guys both look good. Yeah, no.
Well, mine is the lighting, but thank you. Thank you for saying that.
and you should see me from the waist down. It's a mess.
Yeah, no, I am shot. from the
just a
waist down.
huge gray bush.
Oh,
Wow.
I look like a satyr, just like goat legs.
Yeah, so cool. This is great. So you have 2 kids, and what does your wife do?
3 kids. You have 2 kids.
3
I have
kids. I'm
3
sorry.
kids.
I have 2.
Uh,
You have 3. I'm sorry.
you
I
have
just
a girl and a
ended one of
boy.
your children.
Yeah.
He has
That's
2
right.
girls and a boy.
2 girls
2
and a
girls,
boy.
boy. Yes, I have a wonderful wife. She is a teacher by trade as well, but she has been a stay-at-home mom for about 3 years.
Oh, good.
Oh,
She got
bless
out
her.
right before COVID,
Right before COVID.
Nice.
and she called that one well. So
Yeah, that was good
Yeah.
timing. That was
Yeah,
good
yeah,
timing.
really good timing.
I'm
Yeah,
home
so
anyway,
she-
yeah.
I call her my better 7/8 because she is like a way better human than I am. She's
So
from she grew up in Walbridge.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
So she went to
Lake?
Lake schools?
no, she went to St. Jerome
Oh,
okay.
nice.
School in Walbridge, and then went to Cardinal Stritch. So she knows a
Nice.
lot of the same.
Oh, so you met her at Stritch?
Yeah.
So you
Yep.
met her in high
Oh.
school? High school sweetheart?
No, didn't start dating till after. Good friends in high school, but didn't start dating till after.
Okay. And then
Nice.
how
Yeah,
did you start dating? Like what happened there? Did you see each other at a reunion or what happened?
Well, we were good friends, and I don't know, it just kind of happened, and I was like, this one's really good, so I'm hanging on,
Good.
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
basically
Good. Moment
wore
of
it down
clarity
kind
is
of
help.
thing.
Yeah.
You made it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's the best one. Awesome.
That's right. Yeah.
So, oh, sorry, I got so many questions.
no, yeah,
About Stritch, like so Cardinal Stritch, is that I don't know much about it. Is it a Catholic school?
Catholic school. Yep.
Catholic school, okay.
Yep. Real small, pretty
Yeah.
small.
Smaller than Northwood or about the same size?
Well, their numbers have been up and down. I mean, when I graduated there were like 50. We graduated like 50 kids or something. So
Wow.
small. So I don't know what.
A little bit smaller, yeah. I think we had 89 in our class
Okay.
in '94, but
Yeah.
We had
so
89. I thought we had just under 80.
we had 89
whoa.
exactly. I know
Yeah.
because I was
Wildly
the,
specific.
Yeah.
I was
No.
the guy
The
who had
president.
the
Yeah.
class president. I had
Oh,
Yeah.
the-
No, the
wow.
only, like
Yeah.
I did the flowers, so I just got a number from the flowers in my head.
but that 89 includes probably like 14 people that nobody's ever heard of, that like people move to the district and then go to Penna and then just north.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah,
No,
because
you
you can
never
like
met- yeah.
transfer districts as long as you're in Penna. Nothing is disrupted.
Yeah. So I remember when you went to Stritch, you were probably the biggest loss, I think, for us, because I think I was sort of kind
Yeah,
of.
I didn't want to go. I was pretty mad. I was pretty
you?
mad at my parents. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Because I guess speaking of friends, I don't know. I just felt I was pretty dialed into we had a good class, or
Yeah.
I thought in junior high or whatever. And they told me I don't really know why. I mean, I guess they thought I would get a better education there. I'm sure my mom teaching in Northwood had something to do with it. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
is not going down a great path. You know?
yeah.
That's what
I
I
mean,
did. That's what I
from
wanted
an
to ask
adult-
you. Like, is that
Yeah.
why? Was she like, this school sucks? Like,
No, she never really said it like that. It was more like, more opportunity. They thought more opportunities.
yeah, you want the best for your
Well,
kid.
with
Yeah.
a lot of parochial schools, especially with the class size like you had, you get a lot of the personal, like that's the selling point of Maumee Valley Country Day. That's the selling point of Montessori schools, is just the teacher to student interaction.
Well, I did the same for my son. He goes to I guess it's called a STEM school. He goes to Central Academy for Technology and the Arts. He had to win a lottery to get in, sort of.
Oh, wow.
And so, but you also had to be, your grades have to be a certain way. He's in a computer technology program. But I remember when you left, like I was just starting to finally in 8th grade. I was like starting to make friends from the Alney side. I felt like it was like the Jay Orchards and the Jim Jacos and the everybody. There was like a whole group like Rick Anaverdi,
Sean Davidson,
Sean Davidson, like that whole group of. I really felt like our class really had a group of kids that you could be an athlete and smart. Like, it was cool to be smart. And there was a whole group of kids that were like that. That I was like, this is like a group of kind of like nerdy athletic kids. That's cool. And then when you left, I was like, oh, Aaron Crane. Oh, no, where's he go? We'll never see him again. We didn't really see you ever.
Yeah, no, not much. Yeah, no, I was like, I have to bring this up to my mom when I see her. But I was bummed for the first couple of years. Like, I didn't want to be there.
Yeah,
I didn't want to be there at all. But I think, and it actually, like, I didn't do a lot. I didn't get involved in a lot of things, initially at school, and eventually it turned out all right, and I enjoyed my time there. And obviously, I met my wife there. So
you would have met her
that way. But
better 7/8.
And you look adjusted. You don't look like the trauma is. But that's kind of the stuff we all have to go through as children and new schools. And is that the only time you ever changed schools, or did you change schools in elementary school?
No, that was the only time.
You're at always on it. Yeah. So oh man. So I bet there was some. Wait, did you have a sister?
Yeah. She went away. She's older. She was a year older. So she sort of paved the road, if you will. And I guess that's probably when when they told me I was going as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What's your sister's name?
Melissa.
Melissa. She's 2 years older than us, or one, or?
She was a grade older. Grade above. She's a year and a half older than I am. Yeah.
I can't even. I suddenly remembered that, but I can't picture. I can't really picture.
I didn't know.
Well, it's not about Melissa Crane. It's about Aaron Crane. Right?
Yeah, this is the Aaron Crane podcast.
I didn't know that you were in North Carolina until you just said it, 2 minutes ago. That's where. Where are you, Steve?
Oh, I'm up in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Just been hanging around a swamp for a bit.
He lives right next to the police station.
I do. I waved to
him. Yeah.
While he's smoking a bunch of pot. So Steve, just to fill you in a little bit about Steve, which is great. Steve is like a character in Bowling Green that everyone knows. So there's a place called the Corner Grill. Steve, hopefully this doesn't upset you, but this is I know you don't like live in this. Maybe you do. Maybe you're aware of it, but I think it's a cool thing because there's a place called the Corner Grill. There's like this little dive bar, or this dive diner in Bowling Green that was open. I think it was open all night, right? So
it was 24 hours.
And so everybody would go there after the bars. Everybody just went there. Like greasy diner, and it was a little tiny place. But Steve worked there for a while, and he wears basically his uniform is John McClane, they can't say wife beaters anymore, but a John McClane shirt covered in tattoos. He's got long hair, the beard, and he wears a kilt. And then like either Chuck Taylor's or big boots, right? Is that about
generally
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the nondescript slip-ons. Now they just look like cartoon shoes.
Yeah, your slip-ons. Yeah. But anyway, he's a known character in Bowling Green. Like everybody knows that.
Oh, wow.
That was the Corner Grill guy. And then they see him walking around, but he's also like everybody who's cool and different is friends with Steve Bishop. So
this is awesome because my daughter is thinking about going to Bowling Green. She really wants to go to Bowling Green.
And it does, but the thing is this diner doesn't exist anymore.
Now the diner's gone. Yeah. So now
and I work a job where they want me to wear pants.
Well, you're at Ace Hardware now, right?
I am at Ace Hardware now.
But still, you walk around occasionally shirtless, wearing a kilt, reading a book.
Sometimes
I was in Ohio before I moved down to North Carolina. I moved down here in 2012.
It's kind of a monkish lifestyle.
for about 5 years before that, I lived back in Ohio for a couple of years, and I was in Bowling Green. I was working in Bowling Green, and one day I saw Steve walking, shirtless, reading a book with his kilt, and I picked him up. I was like, "Hey, come on, get in my car. Let's." I was on my lunch break or something, and somebody I worked with saw me pick him up. And when I got back to the office, they were like, "I have to ask you a question. Did you pick up a vagrant?" Did you pick up a vagrant on your lunch break? What were you doing with that vagrant? I was like, no, that's my buddy Steve. Like, I've known him since second grade.
Steve's a vagrant?
He's a vagrant. No, he's not a vagrant. He just looks like a vagrant.
I know. I rock a very like a I don't know, a sitcom homeless.
Sitcom homeless. Yeah.
At first glance is kind of homeless, but then you're like, oh wait, he's not covered in dirt and sores. So he's artfully disheveled.
There is a homeless guy that lives in. So I live in a town called Waxhaw, which is it's not the type of town that you'd ever see a homeless person. It's kind of like, I guess it's a little bit like Northwood or like Perrysburg or something.
Yeah.
Like in Perrysburg to Toledo.
Closer to a Perrysburg and a Hallmark movie.
Maybe a Maumee or something.
You have a Maumee has a very nice downtown.
Like the downtown looks like Maumee-ish. Quaint.
Yeah, but yes.
But they're starting to have things.
Their Halloween fest was endearing.
Okay,
you got ice cream there.
You came down for I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So there is a homeless guy that lives in the woods, like that comes out every once in a while. But he looks exactly like my cousin Josh. So I call him homeless Josh.
Yeah,
but he smells awful. The poor guy. I can't remember but I didn't realize that he was probably covered in sores also. Like,
well, I mean, there's a change. Living rough is called living rough. I mean,
yeah. So, and I don't know if you know, Aaron, but Steve and I lived together in college for a little while.
I didn't know.
So
which was where?
Doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
BG. We went to BG.
Okay.
And then we got into the theater department there. So he and I, and then my brother Andy lived with us for a little bit. Then he moved to LA.
I remember your brother.
Remember Andy? Yeah. And so and then some
He's
other
just as cuddly now.
Yeah. So a bunch of actors started moving in. Like we got into the theater thing, and then it seems like I always tell it like this. I don't know, maybe you don't think it's accurate, but it seems like all the straight actors just moved in together at our place. Not that we were like keeping out the gay ones, but
we were a lot of the straight guys, kind
of hung together because we also kind of like sports, but we like theater, and I don't know how we all kind of found it. I guess the ones who, I don't know what were we, the goofball? I don't know what we were, but anyway, we all lived together, and then so our house became known as the House of Fun. So all the college the parties in the department were just at our house.
That's where it went down, huh?
Without our we didn't really want it that way.
Oh yeah, no, it got to the point like I think we had maybe 2 cookouts of our own volition.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, hey, you guys are having this party, aren't you?
It just became
no one
the
said
place.
no.
Like, there's a party for everything. We're at your house, and we're kind of we don't want this. Like it's like a thing that spiraled out of control. Which, but then we all went our separate ways, and there was some bad blood, and then Steve and I didn't talk for several. No, I'm just kidding. No, we've always been pretty close. We always stayed pretty close. But
I got a text from my mom, and she said, because she accidentally butt dialed me.
She's probably like, I hope you're not talking to that Joe.
Yeah.
They are bad influence. Actually, we might be the reason she made you go to Stritch. Like she might be like,
yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'll have to ask her that.
If she was a teacher, she probably understood that Stritch had a better, student to teacher ratio, and
you can't be friends with that Joe and Steve. Ruin everything.
That's what Vonda said about me.
Sean Davidson's mom didn't like it.
Really? Oh no! Why would she? I was the one that took him fucking toilet papering the first time. Why would a mom like me? Why would a mom like a kid who said, "No, yeah, we can leave without your parents' permission in the middle of the night? It's fine."
That's a guy
Were you at the? So my Sean Davidson story is that we were all staying the night over at his house. Jim Jaco was there, and we were all knocking on. We were out late at night, all ringing doorbells and and whatever. Mm-hmm. And Jim Jaco and I went up and knocked on this door and ran away. And this guy comes running out after us and grabbed us both and took us back to his house and sat us down at his kitchen table at, this is whatever, we were out there at midnight
Yeah.
or whatever,
Is this
and called.
What grade is this?
This had to have been like 7th, maybe 8th
I don't
grade,
know,
something like
6th,
that.
7th grade, something like that.
Somewhere in middle school, yeah.
Yeah,
Sit you
somewhere in middle
down,
school.
and
And
then what
calls
does
the
he-
cops. Calls the
What?
cops. Yeah. And it's
This
just
is-
like, yelling at us, and his wife was like, "Come on, they're just kids, let them go." And no, he calls the cops, so the cops come and pick us up and take us back to Sean Davidson's house, just like dropped us off and gave us a lecture.
Really? That's
Yeah.
all he did?
Well, I mean, there's a part of me, I don't, like, I remember hearing the story as a kid, but I don't remember if I was there that night. I want to say I was, and it was probably my fault.
So it was a
That's what I'm-
party. It was a party at
that's what I'm
Sean's
used
house
to.
that you guys were
It
doing.
was like his birthday party. Yeah,
His
we were all
birthday.
staying at his house, and I don't know. I mean, there were easily 8 to 10 kids there, but I don't remember who they were.
That's a great story. So
That is a wonderful story.
that was another podcast idea. I thought, I was like, tell me the craziest thing that happened to you in high school or middle school, because I think everybody's got these crazy stories about high school. And one of ours that I have a recording and I just have to edit and put it together. But do you remember Brian Dempsey?
Yeah.
So, and I suddenly remember this. I made him get on a podcast, like a Zoom call. This is during the pandemic, mid pandemic when you couldn't do anything else. And now everybody knows how to use Zoom. Like, it was a thing that didn't happen before. But so I suddenly remembered in high school, there was a mock trial, because there was a class called Marriage and Parenthood, which I'm sure you probably had at Stritch, where you have to be married to somebody, and then you come up with a budget, and there's a semester where you carry a baby.
That's actually would be really helpful.
It's smart. It's smart that they did it. I wish I would have taken it more seriously when we did it. But we had flour sacks. They called flour babies. It was just like a sack of flour with a face on it. You had to name it. It had a birth date and all that stuff. And you had to arrange, because I was married to Corey Crompak. Yeah, she was my wife, and we had a baby, and I let her name it Gage. Anyway, but so Sean Aiello had a baby.
Thank you.
Sean Aiello.
That
Is
nice.
that from Pet Sematary?
Yeah, that's the kid's name from.
That's why I thought it was weird.
Gage.
Yeah.
It cuts the old dude's Achilles with the.
Oh my God! Because
under the
Jason
head.
Robar's Achilles here.
Yeah.
I did not like that movie. Jim Jacob made me watch that. Yeah. Jimmy loved those horror movies. I'm going to ask Jimmy about it. We actually talked to Jim quite a bit. So we're going to.
That's where I saw that movie at his house for sure.
At Jim's house, yeah. I think he made me watch it too.
In the middle of a cornfield house.
Yeah,
the worst house to watch.
That was on the way to my house. Like,
that's even.
You passed Jim Jacob's house to get to my house.
To get to your house. Yeah, he lived out in those cornfields, and every time every time you go to his house, he'd make his parents take to the video store, and he'd get all these horror movies.
Yeah,
and I watched all the Steven Seagal movies at his house, I think.
Yeah. I remember he moved there. I don't know. I can't remember when it was, but that wasn't the house that he was born in or whatever.
The Wipe. He lived by the Wipahowskis, right?
Yeah, just further down. And like the first time I spent the night at his house was like a birthday party, and I felt it was like 2nd or 3rd grade or something, and we're watching Poltergeist. I was scared out of my mind.
That's not for kids.
I'm like in my sleeping bag. It's like pulled up to my head.
That is not. Yeah, that guy likes some freaky stuff, I think. All right, back to the Brian Dempsey thing. Anyway, okay. Sean Aiello, something happened to his flower baby, and he told a bunch of us on the football team. He was like, "Hey, tell everybody that Brian Dempsey punched this baby, and so I won't fail my class." And we all went along with it, and they did a mock trial because he was accused of hurting the flower baby, and we all lied. I lied on the stand.
Oh my God, perjury.
And got him in trouble, and he lost the case because they all believed us. And I told this passionate, that's kind of when I knew I could act. I was like, I think I can be an actor, because I totally was lying the whole time. And then he got a real sentence. This is when I felt bad. So they called him guilty, and then he was sentenced to clean the booger wall in the varsity locker room. He had to clean the booger wall because he hit this guy's baby.
So
He didn't really do
did you ever confess, or is it like right now? Are you confessing?
I did. Well, I did. I got during the pandemic. I had him. I recorded. An
Oh,
interview
during
with
that.
him,
Okay.
and I
He's been
apologized to
confessing
him
for a while.
because the original podcast idea was an apology tour. I wanted to just apologize to everyone I've ever met because I'm sure I did something to wrong everyone. And so we're kind of wrapping this in here. So I'm sure that's why we're apologizing to you about the way we probably treated your mom.
Yeah.
It's like I'm keeping the apology in there. So I got him, and then I interviewed Coach James because I was like, why did we do a mock trial? It was in his class, his civics class. Like, did we always do a mock trial? Like, why was it just for this one thing? And why did he have to clean the booger wall? I feel so bad for him that we made him do that. And he was mad. He's still a little mad about it. So I interviewed him about it. I said, hey, man, I'm sorry. I lied on the stand. I know you didn't do it.
Wow.
And so now I have to go clean a booger wall to make up for it. I'm not sure, but I recorded all this, but I never did anything with it. So I need to put that out somewhere. I can't remember why did I bring that up?
You were talking about crazy
high school story. Then I
Yeah.
thought everybody has a high school story or middle school story, and you don't have to necessarily know the people if you can tell the story well. Like if you can explain the people involved. Everybody's got crazy shit you did in high school that happened, and then you forget about it because high school is so fleeting and quick, and I don't think our brains are fully formed yet.
No, they're not.
Like things come back, and I'm like, oh my God, we did that. Like that's a thing that happened. So I asked my brother, John, he was class of 89. I was like, what's your craziest thing you remember from high school that happened that you could just tell the story quickly? And there was two guys on the senior table. One guy was flicking peas at the other guy. It was Daryl and Richie. One's flicking peas at the other one. Richie's retaliation was he took a whole bowl of hot mashed potatoes and gravy and dumped it on the other guy's head. like just on his head. Like, and everybody laughed their ass off. It was like he thought that was appropriate retaliation. And that's a great story. So I think everyone has these stories because when you're in high school, it's such a weird time. We're all still like figuring out who the fuck we are. Everybody's like scared to be anybody or say anything. And I think back and it's like the shit I didn't know then, it's so crazy.
When you brought up Jim Jaco, the story that I always remember about him, he's probably told this because I think I've heard him tell this like on I think I've seen it on Facebook or something. He's at my house. It's just the two of us. We were I don't know, just hanging out or something, and we were watching. I was big. We were all big into that circle of us. Were into WWF wrestling.
Wrestling was big.
We always were like,
no, I mean,
huge.
So he was over like a Friday or Saturday night. I'm sure we were watching it on TV or something. And we start wrestling in my house, and I don't know how it escalated, but I probably did something dirty and hit him or something. Yeah. And then I took off like I'm in the downstairs. I took off running, and I ran up all the way to the upstairs of our house. And then he comes running. I think I'm like, he comes running up the stairs. I'm probably hiding in like the bathroom or something like that. He comes upstairs. And so I run out of the bathroom and I run back down the stairs. Yeah. And so I'm running down the stairs and he's chasing after me, and he jumps to like off the top of the turnbuckle, hit me or something. Well, at the top of the stairs, there's like the overhang of like the ceiling.
Yeah.
And he goes right into it, like with the top of his head. So he leaps off right into that, and it just like, his feet go flying up. And he just lands like smack right down on the like, his head hits the like last step,
Yes.
And he's just like laying there. He's like almost knocked out. He's bleeding.
Oh my God.
It's I can actually remember that quite vividly because again I don't know. So we're whatever 6th or 7th grade, or how old are you at that time? We're like 12 or 13 or something like that. Right? Yeah. And he's like almost knocked out. And I like,
that's wonderful.
I get him like onto the couch, and I got like a paper towel on his head. And he's like, dazed and confused. And I'm like, I think it's okay. I think it'll be all right. So he just laid there like the whole night until my parents eventually came home,
Yeah.
and my parents came home and they're like, "Oh shit,
What happened?
this doesn't look good."
You're going to Stritch.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's
Yeah.
dead. You got to go to Stritch.
He's about dead. Yeah.
Stretch. You can't hang
Yeah.
out with these kids.
So my parents take him home, and his mom was a nurse, I think.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was Jeannie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh man, yeah." So she takes him to the emergency room. He had to get stitches.
Oh,
I don't know if they didn't really check back then. I don't think, but I'm sure he had a concussion.
Yeah.
He almost blacked out.
Oh,
And I know
that's-
he's still got like a scar. I've heard him say it before.
that explains a lot. I think that's what's wrong with him. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think we talked to him quite a bit through the pandemic. We kind of reconnected with him on Marco Polo. Actually, a little bit just before the pandemic, he got married in. This is a great story, a Jim Jaco story. This is going to be all Jim Jaco stories.
Yeah.
20, I think today's his anniversary. 2018. So how many years is that?
5.
5 years? Is that 5 years?
Yeah.
It's his anniversary today.
Wow.
So he didn't invite, it was just family, and he only invited a couple friends. Matt and Jeff flew down to Charlotte from Toledo, and then we drove from my house down to Florida together. And Matt Kalmbach will never let me forget, because I started using the Waze app. It was brand new. And so the Waze app kept taking me off the highway, and we basically drove from basically South Carolina, it's because I'm close to South Carolina, to Bradenton, Florida on back roads. Like I don't know why.
Like Mr. T's voice or something, right? Because
it was like Morgan Freeman telling me where to go. And but we stopped in all these crazy podunk rural South Carolina and Georgia town, like I don't know exactly what. We're in Louisiana. I'm not good in geography.
I don't think he made it to Louisiana,
but somewhere
he might have. I don't know ways.
In rural South Carolina, we realized the three of us, it was just nobody brought their wives, because he was like, "No, please don't bring anybody. I really don't, not many people, just the three of you." And we got halfway there, and we're like, "Does anybody have a present for him or anything?" And they're like, "Oh shit, no, I didn't think about that. Our wives do that, it's this misogyny speaking." But we realized shit. And so I come up with the idea, like, well, why don't we just, everywhere we stop, every time we stop for gas, we'll just buy something at every gas station. We'll buy lottery tickets or whatever, we'll just give them that and be like, "Hey, we're idiots," whatever. So we get, the first place we stop is like rural South Carolina. Like, I had to get gas. I'm driving a Prius. Every other car in the parking lot is a Sanford and Son junk truck, like filled with junk, and it's got bars on the windows, and we're just like, where the hell are we? And it is Sanford and Son, like we're on the set of Sanford and Son, and we walk in there, and they have in that gas station, a shitty little, like, it's not like a Marathon or anything, it's like Earl's, whatever. We go in there, and they have a they have a homemade porn section, like it's like videos that they somehow made themselves, and they're like selling them. So like,
wow.
So there's one, and it's just like heavier ladies, and so we buy
people that own the gas station.
I think so.
Maybe it's just the local town. Maybe you just stumbled upon a town whose industry is exporting amateur porn.
It looked like, it's like homemade porn. Like, it was like homemade porn they were selling. And so we bought a DVD. I bought a DVD. And then we bought it was so dumb. We bought some lottery tickets like we originally thought. Somebody put some boner pills in there, some French tickler condoms, things like that. Some idiot bought an ice cream bar and put it in there. And of course it melted in the bag. And so by the time we get to the wedding, we're in Florida, we have this black, gas station bag that they give you when you buy porn, like, so you can't see what it is. And it's filled with all the things we bought, and it's tied up, and we go and put it on the table, the wedding present table. It's like all presents, like fancy presents in this black bag with a melted ice cream bar. And it's like melting all over.
There's only 3 of you. Which one is it? Is it just generally no one remembers who put it in there?
The ice cream bar, I think it was Kalmbach. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
I think it was Kalmbach's stupid idea. But so at some point before we put it on the table, we're at the actual wedding. So the wedding and the ceremony are in the same place. It's on the on the docks, like outside, right by the water. It's really beautiful. And so for some reason, somebody, and I can't remember who did this, but the three of us are sitting there in a row, and we're the only people that aren't family. And we're just like, and Jim's mad, Jim's angry, and his parents are mad, and they're all fighting like they always used to do. The Jaco family always argued and yelled at each other, which it was very entertaining for everyone else. They're all mad and everything. And we have to be quiet now because like the bride's about to come down. It's like dun dun dun, dun, like everybody's standing.
Yeah.
And somebody gets the porn out of the bag, and hands it to me. And I'm like, oh, what are they handing me? I'm like, not looking. I'm looking back at her. I'm like, oh, it's the fucking porn. And then I pass it back to Jeff, and then he passes it to Matt. We're like basically playing hot potato with this porn that's got like pictures, naked, heavy women all over it, just passing it back and forth. Like, oh, I don't want this porn. What are we doing? And it gets away from me. Like I'm on the aisle.
It like goes flying into the
it goes like flying, and she's coming down the aisle. I'm like, oh no. And it goes flying, blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
Boom, and it lands in the aisle, like porn picture side up.
Man.
She's coming down the aisle, and we're just like busting out, like trying not to laugh, like, oh my God. And I'm like biting my lip to try not to just burst out laughing because the music's not that loud. And then I look over, and she's right next to me, like coming down the aisle, and I'm like, I try to play it off like I'm crying, like I'm so glad it gets to me. Oh my God, so emotional. You're so beautiful. But I'm like, please don't look down. You're like about to step over a porn.
Yeah.
So the porn drop, it was the porn drop. It was the wedding porn drop that dropped right in the aisle, and then she. I still don't think she knew, so I like finally slid my leg out in the aisle, and like slid it
across the
back to us. And she never
a good wedding usher.
Yeah.
Would have squashed. He would have taken care of that.
It would have, but he
would have jumped on that. That's your job.
He was chintzy on the ushers. He didn't hire any ushers. Like we would have been
hire ushers. You would have been the ushers. If anyone were the ushers, you guys.
Yeah, I guess we should have been.
Yeah, you probably.
Yeah. Maybe he had ushers. Maybe they just didn't.
I don't know.
Whatever it was, I still don't think his wife knows that happened. But I'm thinking for her anniversary, 5-year anniversary, might be a good time to tell her.
You're gonna make that same road trip and recreate it.
Do you remember this porn?
Yeah, I wonder if he still has it. I don't know. But
did you see? You actually gave it to him?
We did give it to him. We put it back in the bag, and then we put it on the table at the reception. But that porn drop, that's like possibly the greatest.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Greatest wedding moment of history.
Yeah, that's really good.
Like, how many people can say they dropped a porn in the aisle at a wedding?
Yeah,
right. Coming down.
How many people can say they had a porn drop at their wedding?
Well, what I keep forgetting to say when I tell this story is that he told us
no porn
right before the wedding. No, he didn't say no porn, but he was like, guys, I don't know why I invited you.
Please don't screw this up for me.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He's like, please don't fuck this up. It was like, this is the only good thing that's ever happened to me. Like, my life's been shitty. I fucked everything up. Like, with this, I don't know why she's marrying me. Please don't fuck it up. That kind of thing. Like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he was like, please just don't fuck this up, because they can see right away we're like getting drunk and we're like hanging out with his uncle Dave Jaco, the boxer. Like, he's telling us stories of. It was so funny. And
did you slip him the porno? He should have given it.
We should have given the porno.
That would have been a good, yeah.
Well, I don't know if that was even the porno. Might not have been the funniest thing that happened at the wedding, because Dave Jaco was like right in front of us, and he's got a flip phone, and so it's all quiet. Like right as they're doing the vows, it gets real quiet, and they're about to do. All of a sudden, you hear, and everybody turns and looks, and he's snapping pictures with his flip phone. And it makes that old that fake camera sound that nobody has anymore. Like that was from like 2002, and everybody's looking at him like, "What? Why are you looking at me? Why is everybody looking at me?" And everybody's laughing. I'm like, and that like relieved the porn drop pressure, because nobody seemed to notice the porn drop except for us.
That's a good. Yeah, I can't top that. That's a great story.
Yeah, that's not.
I was going to rewind back to when you were who was doing the peas, but it made me think of Matt Ruck.
Yes, love Matt Ruck.
And when we were at Alney in like 4th or 5th grade, a food fight started in the cafeteria.
What?
And I didn't start it. I don't think Matt did either, but I can specifically remember the only thing that I did was I had like 3 pieces of corn on the spoon and I flung that across. But the next thing you know, like 2 paws come and grab Matt and I by the shirt and pull us out. And we're in the principal's office and we got paddled because they did that back then.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Yeah, corporal punishment.
Yeah.
Damn.
You got paddled.
So we both had to like put our hands on the desk and he wound up. He had a big old wooden paddle with holes drilled in it.
Oh,
So
damn.
who did the paddling? Was the principal or
Principal? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was awkward because my mom was a teacher.
She was at Alney then.
Yeah, at
right?
that point she was at Alney. Yeah. And I was
now how was she about it? Was she upset you got paddled at them? Or was she upset at you? Like, was she like, you should have paddled?
No, I didn't really get in I didn't get in much trouble at home for it. I think I think I was honest with her and told her like I obviously I did something, but I was like I did 2 things.
But I wasn't the only one. There was a bunch of people.
Yeah, I didn't start at all. And I just it's like in sports, right? When the referee sees the last guy that does something.
He always sees the last guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's
so I think she realized
one.
that, and I think she was kind of mad. Mad at the principal.
Mad at the principal.
I can remember Matt going. I can remember him after going. It didn't hurt. It's like I thought it would hurt, but it didn't hurt.
Really?
Like I thought it kind of hurt.
You thought it hurt, so maybe
I don't know. Maybe I was probably wearing like sweatpants or something.
Well, maybe Matt had a little bit more meat on his butt.
Yeah, or maybe I don't know. Maybe he had some of those. Beans or something. I don't know.
That was my biggest fear, is being paddled. When I saw kids that had to be paddled, that was a nightmare. Like, ugh. Just the fact that they did that then, and
I know.
Did you ever get paddled, Steve?
Oh, I was supposed to get paddled a couple of times. I talked my way out of both of them. One I just straight up cried my way out of, and the other one I reasoned my way out of. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's teaching you life skills.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever do any paddling?
While like in school? No,
sexually.
Sexually? I mean, I have had a variety of requests.
Got his whole your own porn line of.
Well, I mean, it's not a porn line. It's there's no films. It's just for us. I mean, that's.
But speaking of Matt Ruck,
what?
we got to see Matt Ruck in Nashville he's in Nashville right now, he and his wife.
And child.
And child. He's got a child now, yeah.
There's another generation of Rucks.
Very cool. We hung around a lot. I miss that guy. We were good friends back then.
You guys were close, weren't you? Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. Do you talk to anybody from Northwood really much anymore? Like regularly?
No, not really.
You don't keep in contact with middle school friends?
Just through Facebook.
Through Facebook. And that's the weird thing, but it's not, but it could be more than just like happy birthday,
Yeah.
That's kind of what my thing is too, is like I feel so dumb wishing somebody happy birthday because Facebook told me it was your birthday.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I didn't
work. Yeah.
I didn't put any effort into caring about your birthday. Now that I know it's your birthday, I want you to have a good day.
Yeah.
But I'm just one of a million other people that said happy birthday because Facebook told us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm not a better friend, that I didn't send you anything or I didn't remember
it's just like Facebook is homeroom. It's a computer homeroom.
Computer homeroom. What do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean?
Is everyone kind of checks in?
You just check in with people, like they're a lot. I guess the other sad thing I did today when I was looking through my friend because I did a comedy event online. I was inviting people today, and I was trying to I wish there was a way to filter this just by people who are in North Carolina, because I don't want to invite people from high school.
Ohio.
Yeah, I was really kind of taken aback today by how many friends are dead that I have on Facebook that have died. And that's kind of a new thing I think we all have to figure out how to deal with, is like, what do you do? Like, what I guess Facebook generally, once it knows they're dead, it becomes like a legacy page or whatever. But
yeah, I've been through that a couple of times. Yeah. And like I've seen it where somebody's died and then somebody in the Facebook group didn't know. So then they're
Yeah.
like saying happy birthday to that person after they had.
No,
After they're
I'm worried
gone,
that
it's
I'm going to
so
be that
awkward,
at some
yeah.
point. I'm going to be the guy wishing the dead person happy birthday,
Well, and
and
I feel
people
like,
are just going to assume I'm being a dick.
well, now that we're getting older, it's hard to remember. That's the other thing too. It's like it's harder for me sometimes to remember people, and like people I knew well and I think I knew well, I won't remember them, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm soon I won't remember anything. So I want to get all this recorded while I remember things. Maybe I won't remember, but sometimes I was looking at somebody and I was like, I think that guy died, didn't he? Shit. Is that a dream I had or that guy died? Because I'm not that close with this guy. I knew him in college. Like Jeff McGinnis is who came to mind. Steve,
Yeah.
you remember him? He was a
Yeah.
guy that went to our college. He recently died, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
he had a
I'm
heart
pretty
attack
sure
or
he
something.
recently
Like, yeah.
died. Yeah.
And so he's younger than us, and things like that just happen. Like Lorna Boyd was older than us. She died. There's a lot of people from Northwood that class of 93, like
Oh, really?
big percentage of them that are dead. It's a weird thing. They're just like fluke ones. Like and so I don't know, death is always a weird thing to deal with anyway, but that's the whole thing. It's like now as we get older, I imagine that's gonna be more and more. I remember my grandma, she died at 90. Before she died, her daily ritual was to just read the obits.
Read the obits. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
She'd be like, I'm just seeing who died today that I knew,
Yeah.
like see who's left.
Did I win the race?
Yeah, I'm the winner. Like, I wonder who, like, does the last person even know anything? Because she barely was aware of anything at that point. Like, she was just out to lunch most of the time.
Comes down to quality of life,
and that's what I think about. Like, what are we living for? Is that how?
Whoa! I mean, this is
not that I'm gonna Kevorkian myself, but I'm like, I watch my grandparents. It's like by the time they could really just rest and retire and like not think about money, they were too old to even enjoy anything. They're just like,
well, and that's why people in France are burning down government buildings because they said you have to wait a little longer to retire.
2 more years, yeah. More years
But-
to retire in there.
but we are
Yeah.
living longer, right? So
I mean, technically we are too. I mean, technically Americans are living longer.
yeah, we are
as well.
too. I wish we could just know. All I ask is to know when I'm gonna die, so that I can.
Why? We just,
Like
So
how
that-
far into the future?
Yeah, like if it's
Like now
gonna be,
you want to know, or you
Like,
mean
you
like,
wanna
like
date-
a week out?
I want to know now when it's gonna be, so that I can plan. Like if it's gonna be in 2 years, I'm gonna fucking go hog wild. Like, but if I'm gonna be here till I'm 90, I need to make some more money. Like I need to
yeah,
do. Some
you need to
things.
plan ahead.
I gotta
You
get
need
some
to
things
squirrel a little
done
bit
and
away,
figure.
yeah.
I don't need to really catch up on TV
Now,
shows. I can watch those later.
is it like you will die on this day when you're 90, so you can do anything?
I'd be okay with a ballpark. Like, just give me the year.
Okay.
And I'd be.
I was just
like,
thinking about like taking high risk because you want to make money. So if you know you're going to die when you're at this date when you're 90,
yeah,
that means you know you're not going to die until then.
right.
Which means you can start doing impossible daredevil shit and
no,
betting on yourself.
I guess I could change.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, things could change. Like,
Okay.
I guess
all
I wish I
like
could
you
know,
can
like-
affect the date of your death by going,
okay.
fuck
That's
it,
not-
2 packs a day.
no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they tell me you're gonna die no matter what, you're gonna get hit by a bus on Thursday, I'm gonna fucking smoke a bunch of cigarettes. I'm gonna
Well,
try.
yeah,
I'm gonna
but
try
I mean,
meth.
that's like the apocalypse.
I'm gonna do some
law.
cocaine. I'm gonna like go get a bunch of hookers. I don't know, and like just do a
Yeah.
party, whatever I'm do. I don't know. But if it's gonna be till I'm 90, then I'm gonna watch what I eat. Like I want to eat terrible things, and I can.
Well, that's
if
why
I'm
you
gonna
got
die.
a bidet.
Yeah, that's why I have a bidet. But it's not
You
just
can
the
eat
poop,
terrible things.
but it's also like dying. Like I
Well,
don't want to
no, yeah.
die. So like if somebody told me you're gonna die when you're 50 and I'm 46, okay, cool. Then I'm gonna just eat whatever the fuck I want for the next 4 years.
But if
But
you eat whatever the
what's the
fuck you
bidet
want
have
for
to
4
do with-
years,
Done.
Oh, so I often say I got a bidet during the pandemic. It was when that toilet paper shortage
Oh,
was
yeah.
going on. And it's changed my life. I mean, it is. I didn't know how unclean I was. And now I'm as clean as a whistle.
he
But
loves his
now-
bidet.
And I can eat
You
so
had a
many more
separate
things.
one installed, or just the one that hooks on to the?
So I installed
I'm
two.
really-
They're hooked on. I got
Yeah.
two. I have 3 bathrooms. I have 2 bidets. I installed both. I'm thinking about getting a third one, but because oh my god, now I can eat whatever I want. I would avoid jalapenos. I would avoid chicken.
Oh.
Because the next day it's like, oh my god,
hygiene factor.
I'm wiping
Yeah.
forever. I'll just wipe forever. But that bidet, boom, cleans it right up, and I can eat whatever I want. But I still have that horrible pain of the diarrhea and everything.
Okay.
But that's probably too much information, I'm sure, for Aaron.
cut
Well, we're just sharing. Sharing
They
is caring.
don't. They don't say these things at Cardinal Stritch. Maybe they do.
They could. We don't know.
Yeah.
Did anybody else from Northwood when you went? Did anybody else from Northwood go? Like from our class?
Yes.
I feel like-
Brandon.
Bobby Drager didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And I'm blanking on
Brandon McCormick.
Yeah, Brandon McCormick. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
I
Good,
remember
Joe.
that name,
See,
yeah.
you remember
Yeah,
shit.
that's great.
Yeah.
He's like the one guy I got in a fight with once, or I almost got in a fight with him. I don't think I
Really?
got in a fight with him. Yeah,
No,
I
you
didn't. And
player.
it was all.
Okay.
It was all. Did I get in a fight with him? I think I was supposed to fight him, and then it didn't happen or something. But it was all about. I don't remember. I made some dumb comment to him on the bus because there was something where he had to get a bus at Northwood to go to Stritch or something.
That's how it was. Yeah, you had
Yeah.
to. Yeah, you had to get. I had to keep riding the bus, and it stayed at Northwood and then sat there.
Oh.
Bit,
So you
and
had
then
to see all the friends that you don't get to hang out with anymore, and then
Yeah.
go off this other school.
That's
Oh,
like a special kind of hell.
that's
Yeah, it was.
cruel.
Yeah.
That's cruelty.
Yeah.
hey guys, wish I was with you, but yeah.
Yeah, and then you just like drift apart because you didn't miss anything.
Yeah. No,
although you could have been at the porn drop if you would.
I know. Yeah, I might have been there. Yeah. Damn, I'd give everything up.
But you may.
I'd
I'm-
change everything to be
Yeah.
at the porn drop.
But conversely, you may have like had a falling out with Jimmy, and then maybe
That's true.
one of you would have murdered each other or something. Or I always try to say, like, if something happened that didn't happen, it would have resulted in death.
Yeah. No, you do go for the final destination ending.
I always do that just because I'm like, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to wish it was a different outcome. I just want to live in the outcome.
No.
Man.
I was.
You don't wanna-
Oh, go ahead, Steve.
No, please.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was gonna. I don't know why this came into my mind, but as I was sitting here thinking about this, I was like, "What's my like earliest memory of both of you?" And
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's the one I wanted to ask. I have a whole list of questions I haven't even asked you yet.
oh,
But that's one of them. Like, when do you remember us? And yeah, I don't know.
Well,
when,
I can't remember. Like when you said earlier about like it was like 8th grade when the groove started to hit or something. I kind of remember that, but
That's
I
what
don't
I felt
remember
like.
like day one of 6th grade or whatever.
Mhm.
I can't remember leading up to becoming friends with all of those people really. But maybe this is the earliest memory, but Joe, you specifically, I can remember you you rapped on the Paula Abdul skit in was that 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade?
Opposites attract. Yeah.
Yeah, you were MC Scat Cat, right?
Yeah.
I remember that.
And that actually created a rift between Yo Joe and Jam and Jimmy because if you remember that,
I forgot.
in that same talent show, Jim Jaco and I were rapping. We wrote our own rap song. He's Jam and Jimmy, and he's Yo Joe. We're two awesome rappers going with the flow. We're funky and we're fresh and we're bad to the bone. Compete against us. You're in the danger zone. Yeah, stupid. I don't know why I remember that, but I wasn't supposed to do that thing with that was 6th grade girls that I did that MC Scat Cat, and it was like the day of the thing. They were getting ready to go on. I was like, hey, no offense, but you're just dancing to Paula Abdul. It's pretty stupid. Like, I was like,
who was? I don't even remember who were the girls that did it because you stole the show.
I think it was. I know I could. The only ones I could think of is probably because they were 6th grade when we were 8th grade. So Sarah Duckworth and Beanie Wells.
Oh, so it was older. It was
Sabrina Wells, younger girls, 6th grade girls.
Oh, okay.
They were in 6th grade and I was in 8th grade. And so they were like, yeah, whatever you say, like that's how I saw it. I was like, hey, wouldn't you want, like, you have the rap in there.
Yeah.
What are
you going to do? What are you going to do when the rap is happening?
I was like, the rap is happening. You're just dancing. Come on. I know the rap by heart. You want me to just come out and rap it and lip sync it? And they were like, yeah, would you? That'd be awesome. I was like, all right. And then so when I did that, Jim got so mad. He was like,
Oh man.
you're going solo and you're trying to.
Oh man. It's like
He's
Justin
still
Timberlake.
mad about it. I think he's
So
given me
mad.
shit recently about that.
Wow, yeah. That was when
So-
you broke off.
So I was going to say that 8th grade is about the time when I felt like I came out of my shell. Like 6th grade, I was scared to death to go to middle school because at Lark, it's
Why,
like
Lark? Come on, you guys were tough.
but I was still intimidated and afraid, and I didn't play any sports, and I didn't know I didn't know what, I couldn't talk to girls or anything. And then by 8th grade, it's like, I don't know what made me realize girls like it when you're funny. And then so I just started trying to be funny. I think. And so, but that's when I feel like I was figuring it out by 8th grade. I was like, oh my God, this is great. This whole big group of friends, like the whole class is basically like, we all get along pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, you have a different, it's hard to remember back to that, or you didn't pick up on it, or just don't know, but I felt like most people got along pretty well. I don't remember.
We did. There was a little bit of rivalry because Steve and I came into middle school as best friends. And then we each sort of branched off and got new friends that I think had rivals. Like I became friends with Jimmy mainly because he was right next to me, and then Steve became friends with Jay Orchard. And we were in the
there was
AV.
always like a weird beef between Orchard and Jaco.
Orchard and Jaco had this beef, and that kind of spilled out into us, I think. And we were in the AV. Were you in?
Oh
AV?
yeah,
You were in AV, weren't you?
I did AV, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think here's my guess. I
think
think
to bring the overhead projector.
Yeah,
no,
so here's my guess. I think we branched off as teams a lot, and it was Steve and Jay. I think it was me and Jimmy, and I think it was you and Matt Ruck, Aaron.
Yeah,
I think it was you and Ruck. Yeah.
Did you say earlier you don't have a good memory? You have a great memory.
It's just coming back to me right now. Like it just came at me because I remember Jimmy would always accuse Jay, Jay and Steve are erasing our names off of jobs. And we're gonna add them back.
Right in pen. Yeah, like there are times when we would steal jobs. Like Orchard and I, we didn't take any from you or Ruck, but we'll take some from Jaco and Joe. I don't know why. I know why I did it. Is
all the good, like you kept taking all the good AV
good jobs. Yeah.
Oh no, like one of the reasons I justified it was you guys always use pencil. you guys use pencil. Like everyone else used pen. We were supposed to use pen. There was a pen on the sheet.
Oh, you mean on the sign-up sheet?
On the sign-up
sheet.
Jobs. Yeah.
So you're like,
you couldn't. Like my justification was, there's a pen right here.
They had it coming.
You didn't get paid for those, right? It was just you got out of class.
You got out of class.
Yeah, you got to because you got to bring the
So
slide.
I remember I could barely. I think Jim and I both could barely do AV. Like we can't sign up for projectors because I can't figure out how to do that fucking thing. Like the opaque projector is all I can do because you just pull it in and you plug it in. Like, anybody wants that? Oh my God! I just suddenly remembered this. I've never thought of this since then. We took the opaque projector one time to the gym, like Mr. Pooley needed it. And do you remember the upper level of the gym?
Tracing something on there, like drawing.
Yeah. You remember the upper level that had those big like steps? Like
it was kind of like the bleachers, but they weren't bleachers. They were
but it was just like concrete steps. We dropped the opaque projector off of the cart and it crashed and rolled down all of those things. And it was like all dented and broken. And like,
fuck.
I think we put it back on the cart. And I think we put it back on the cart, all damaged, put it back where it goes, erase the job. And we
put Steve and Jay Orchard in there.
Go ahead.
I think we put Steve and Jay on there.
No, that makes sense because I remember, having to try to take apart that opaque projector because one of the things I did to get on the fucking AV was to fix the laminator. Like I fixed the lamination machine.
I apologize.
So I had to figure out what was wrong with the opaque projector that we broke. And I never remembered breaking it, but I was just fuck.
Yeah, I think we broke it. Yeah,
good.
I just remember.
Good.
Yeah,
I think that pans out.
I owe you an apology.
I think that's karmic justice.
I owe you an apology.
No, I think
that's what this is going to turn into. Just apology.
The apology podcast.
The
let's apologize for everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, just like memories like that just flood back suddenly, like just things you didn't think of. It's such a weird thing. And like, I guess that's the other thing with Facebook. And like, do I need to be friends with these people that just happen to, their families just happen to settle in the same part of the country as us? Like
That's how clans work and tribes, and that's how humans
tribes.
work.
So are we a
man.
tribe? Is the Northwood Middle School a tribe?
Well, it's just a place where we all share.
We all came from there.
It's a time and a place that we all share.
I was talking with Crystal about this recently. So, Aaron, you wouldn't have known this guy, but we had a Japanese foreign exchange student in high school named Junichi, Junichi Kataoka. And we did our, I guess, how many years is it? Are we at 30? I think it was our 20th reunion then we must have done. And because I was a dumb class president, I don't know why I was class president, but I had to plan it. So I didn't plan it well, but it was the whole thing. I was like, we'll all go to the high school homecoming game. We'll all meet up at the homecoming game and we'll like hang out and meet up. And then after the game, we'll go to a bar if anybody wants to go to a bar. That way, if you want to bring your kids, you can come to the homecoming game. And then if you want to go to the bar, you can do that. And if you want to do both, you can do both. I don't think we had a huge turnout of people. Oh, Frank Steffen came to that, though. I don't know if you heard of this teacher, Frank Steffen. He's now in jail. He was our high school math teacher. He got in trouble for child pornography. Yeah. And he was there. That was like right before he went to jail. Like he came to our thing. He was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Steffen." Anyway, that's a sidetrack. But Junichi, he is from. I might be blowing some of this out of proportion or exaggerating to make it a better story, but I think he's like the head of like a Fortune 500 company in Tokyo. I think he's a big deal in Tokyo. Maybe he's not, but I think he is. Like he's got a big job. He's a big important deal, but he flew from Japan to come to this reunion. That I like half-assed like plan. I was like, yeah, if anybody wants to do this, and he's like flying from Tokyo. But whatever happened, like the time zone thing, nobody like kind of figured out. So by the time he was going to arrive at Toledo Airport at like 11 p.m. And I was like, nobody's going to be out anymore at 11. So I was like, everybody that was at the bar afterwards, like everyone has to stay because Junichi's coming. Like none of us have seen Junichi from Tokyo since high school. He's flying from fucking Tokyo. Like we have to stay. And everyone's like, I want to go. No, you can't go. Junichi's coming. And so meanwhile, a lot of us have been drinking since like 7 p.m. And so people are drinking. And I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
He's a cop now.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna have to bleep out his name if I put this out there. So
my wife and know each other really well because he lived in Walbridge and went to St. Jerome for a while.
Oh, nice. Really? That's cool. Yeah, he was we had a band in high school. He was the drummer and Steve was the bassist.
Oh, yeah.
And I was the lead singer, Lothario, and Ruck played guitar. But yeah, Herb. So we called him Herb. He went by Herb then. Anyway, so Ryan was hammered. And when Junichi finally gets there at like 11:30, almost midnight, this is terrible. So we're at a bar in right in front of the Woodville Mall. Remember, there's like a strip mall in front of the Woodville Mall. And there was a bar in there called it was like Shooters.
Yeah, I know.
Shooters. And then Knisley's brother bought it. Jeff Knisley bought it and turned into something else for a little while. And of course now it's all gone. But he had owned that bar at that time, so we all hung out there and did karaoke and everything. And so Herb's drunk. Junichi comes walking in like 11:30 at night, and he's like, Junichi's here. Junichi's here. Like, oh my God, it's fucking Junichi. Oh my God. Just fresh off a plane. He's probably got jet lag coming from Tokyo. Just without even talk, just grabs him and puts him on his shoulders, like a piggyback, like on his shoulders. His legs are dangling. He's on his shoulders, and just like, yeah, Junichi. Just goes like parading him out on the dance floor. Slips because somebody had spilled a bunch of beer. Slips with Junichi on his shoulders and falls backwards. Junichi lands on the back of his head. He just got on the stage for the first time since high school.
Oh, jeez.
Cracks his head on the dance floor. And he's like laying on the floor, and he's like, "Oh my God!" Kind of like Jimmy was. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
He's almost unconscious. Like it's like in my mind, there's a pool of blood. There probably wasn't a pool of blood, but let's just say there's a pool of blood. He's like, and I'm drunk too at this point, and I think it's hilarious to start saying, "We're gonna have to bury him. We're just gonna have to bury him. We can't. This is gonna be an international incident. We can't let Tokyo find out about this. We gotta bury him. And everybody's like, no, he's fine. He's okay. He's like, no, we gotta bury him behind the mall. We gotta bury him right now. Like, the more everybody's like, that's not funny, I like turn it up to 10. Like, no, that's funny. I want to keep doing it. We gotta bury him alive if we have to. Like, and so he was fine, but Junichi got dropped. I think he ended up being okay, but poor guy. Like, welcome back to North. But Crystal and I were talking about just the fact that he came back. Like, Northwood for him is a fond, wonderful place. A lot of us leave and are like, boy, what a shitty place I come from. Like, what a shithole. But there's a lot of people that stay there, and I don't know. I don't feel I'm like not angrily against Northwood or anything, but I've been around a lot of places, and it's not the greatest place in the world. But he reveres it, and it's like, this was a wonderful place. But is it the place? It's like Asgard. Asgard's not a place, it's a people.
The people.
It's like, it's the people, it's the time you remember. Like, he finally remembered coming to a strange place and people treated him nicely. And so, and that is the thing. It is a small knit group that you don't get everywhere in Northwood. I think, like, knowing every single person and being comfortable with them. I knew everybody, every single
it's
kid.
The lore of the small suburb. It's the
small town.
It's funny because that, even though, where I went to high school was, 5 miles from there or whatever, I probably, hearing from you and Steve, or anybody telling some of those stories, like, that excites me more than a lot of the high school memories that I have. There were good people that went there, but that time in our life, there's some good people, still good people.
Because there's something you miss. There's something about people that you've grown up from, like kindergarten all the way through, or even just middle school through high school. Like, even the only kids, I got real close. I got real close with Matt Ruck for a while. Like, even middle school, like, we got real tight for a while, and then he moved to the Lark side, and we drove to school, with him every day, and I feel like we got real close. And then you have to be close to these people, because they're the same people you've known. Their ins and outs, what they're going through. You hear about everybody.
They become the extended family of community.
And the teachers too are like that too. So I do feel like I'm sad that you we were sad that you were gone. I remember being sad that you were leaving, because I was like, oh,
well, that's good to hear. I didn't know if people were
Aaron Crane. Oh, it was like a big loss. Like, it was, because you were just like a guy. Everybody loved Aaron Crane. Yeah. And so, it was, and I think people still talk about you guys. And I feel like the Alney kids talk about you to us like we wouldn't know who you were. We're like, we know him from middle school.
It's like we remember. It's like, sure, you had K through 5, but we had 6, 7, and 8.
Those were the good years. Yeah.
Well, those are that's the first time the pot really starts boiling.
Yeah.
The little, like, the internal chemistry, the chemistry sets that we all start really fucking boiling at that
middle
age.
School is so weird, man. We're all going through the same shit, but a kind of different schedule.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're like watching my kids. Like, my daughter's in 8th grade right now. Just watching her over the last couple of years, like, and the girls are like, now I hate this girl. Now I'm friends with this girl. Now
the girl drama.
It's so crazy. There's
a
girl down the street. She's the sweetest girl. Like, she's either here every day eating all of our food, or she's not here at all, and she won't talk to her. It's like, what the fuck? What is going on? But just the shit that they're dealing with emotionally and trying to figure out who you are as a person, as becoming a woman or becoming a man, like, and everybody's like developing at different rates, and then you get picked on if you're not developing fast enough, or if you're developing too fast, and like, what a mess that is for everyone. It's
just everyone's attacking.
Yeah,
it's just you're constantly attacking, because that's the best defense is the strong offense.
You're attacking, and you're being attacked, and you're
exactly
scared,
everyone's just
and then you're supposed to expect to be learning schoolwork, and
having kids is I think probably the reason I I'm not on social media very much, or I just not social media and kids. It's just like they can't. My wife said this really well at one point, and I'll probably butcher how it was, but like you can't. When we were kids, like if you had a bad day at school, you just went home and it was done, right? It was off. Like you got to turn it off.
Yeah, and then it starts
now,
over the next day.
Now it doesn't get turned off.
No, it's all night. It's on your phone.
Texting, and they're on their phones. Yeah.
It's like heightened. Everything is heightened, and everything's. But they also like are aware of so much more.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
They're connected to. I was trying to explain to my daughter, like Northwood was this weird, like subsection of the world that was, I think, was behind the times in most things.
Oh, like, no,
like our fashion was behind. Like we weren't up with
like Ohio in itself.
It has to get there. Like it has to
get
come in waves. But now everybody sees what everybody's doing all over the world instantly.
So everyone's
immediately a clone. Like there's something to be said of that, to be connected to the entire world.
Well, it's their own, it's the variation on the monoculture. There's no such thing as a water cooler show. However, you do have shows that spark that movement through culture.
Yeah, it used to be. We all watched MASH. We all watched MASH, the finale of MASH tonight.
And everyone's watching Last of Us,
which
I'm saying everyone of a certain age group.
Yeah,
like the kids.
Did you watch it?
No, I don't watch TV. You know that. Like I'll
pretty good. You should watch it.
Aaron, did you watch The Last of Us?
Like, yeah, but I have to watch the last episode yet, so don't give me any.
No, there won't be any spoilers. I don't watch. I don't watch.
I thought The Last of Us was the last season of This Is Us. I didn't know what it was until recently. Somebody said it's a video game. It's not a TV show. Or it's a TV show based on a video game or something.
Yeah. Which I never play. I didn't know. I didn't play the game, but
Do you play any video games?
Not really, but until recently when I got my son, when he got an Xbox, then I started.
You play with him?
Mostly sports. He plays hockey, so we play NHL.
That's cool.
At 23 is what we play most of the time. But
what's a typical day in the Crane household? Like, so you work from home.
This is where the show's going to go downhill.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think we're.
So the kids go off to school, and then
kids are at school.
Go to the basement.
I go to the basement, or some. I can still go to our office, but nobody ever shows. It's hardly anybody there. Any of the day there might be 3 people there. So
so why go?
I just decide I'll go if I'm bored of being in the basement. But just in the basement. I spend a lot of time on Zoom.
Do you guys go out? Like, do you go out to dinner places? Like, what's your favorite restaurant you go
to? We do go out. Not so much as a family, but my wife and I. It's probably we like to.
You guys go out without the kids.
Yeah.
Like, is there like? Do you go to a brewery or do you just go to a restaurant? What do you do?
I was you were drinking beer earlier, right? At first I thought it was like some fancy, you look like a Mai Tai or something.
No, I was drinking it's a hazy IPA called
We did the product placement before.
Yeah, we did it before you got it. This is a local brewery called Noda Brewing in North Carolina. Charlotte's very big on breweries, and I'm big into hazy IPA. So that's why. Do you like hazy beers?
I do, but I don't drink a lot of I feel like as I've gotten older, like if I drink a lot of beer, like I'm gonna need a bidet.
You're gonna need a bidet. That's part of the reason I got the bidet. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to pee in a little.
There's a lot of distilleries that are popping up around Columbus.
Okay,
probably drink more bourbon or whatever. But
you drink bourbon straight?
I'll probably make it into like an old fashioned.
Yeah, that'd be good. I had an old fashioned. I had a smoked old fashioned a couple weeks ago. At some fancy.
Smoked or was like with mezcal or something in it?
What is that?
Was it like actually smoked?
Yeah, they smoked it, like they lit it on fire, like they had this burner thing, and it was like all the smoke came up, and it smelled like a campfire.
Yeah, like campfire. Right.
And it was really good, but it was like $30 or something. Yeah. I was like, oh fuck, what the hell am I? And I was lit because I don't drink liquor usually, but I was like, I am hammered. why do we go to this place? But it's owned by a local brewery. So we thought, oh, we'll support it.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, what drink you on? I was like, I don't know. The only thing I know is old fashioned from John Hamm or whatever that show is.
Yeah.
Man.
Men. Yeah.
All right. What about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to just jump into some of these questions.
Okay.
We've kind of covered like how you know us, obviously middle school. Social media, you don't use it a lot, but are you somebody who friends, like if you get a request from somebody and say you got 50 mutual friends, but you don't really know them, you don't know who they are or how they know your friends, but they friend you, are you going to accept that?
Or if I know who they are, I'll accept it. Yeah. If I know who they are, but otherwise, I don't know if you looked at, just because of this interaction.
Yeah.
Which I probably would never have. I almost never open Facebook, except my son uses Messenger, like all his kids, like before you kind of get into phones and whatnot, they all use like Messenger. So I always text and call him on Messenger. So that's why,
that's why you have it. Okay.
But I mean, when you said you had 1,400 friends, I was like, geez, I don't have that many. How many do I have? And I think it was like 190 or something.
Yeah, because you don't use it. Yeah,
I don't use it. Yeah. And I probably stopped once it was big, or once it came out, however long that was ago, 15 years ago. I hit all the people.
Yeah, that you know. Well,
that you do, and I kind of stopped from there. And then I had a bunch of friend requests, and I was like, oh, I probably should have accepted that.
Yeah, maybe I should have looked at those. But that's interesting to me. Is like how different people look at it. Like a regular person who doesn't need it to sell a show. Like, is it creepy at all? Like it sounds like it's a little creepy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I appreciate without Facebook, I would never have this, or I would never know what any of those people are doing. So I think
we wouldn't be here. And that's kind of what I kind of want to look at this. Like, can we do something every once in a while? Like, I think if we did a Zoom call just for fun and weren't recording it with, I got Ruck and Jaco and
that'd be a blast.
We would have a blast. So I did part of where this evolved too is like during the pandemic, I did a lot of drunk dialing on Messenger. Like I would just get a couple beers in me and I would just get on Messenger and start making group calls, or like Jaco, right? And then I started like people that don't even know each other. I just like call 100 people and then leave and see if they see what happens. I had a reunion for a job I had in Chicago. I worked at the American Bar Association. We had a reunion for those people one night. We had high school people, we had college friends, like just a million reunions all the time.
You're good at it. You're a promoter,
I like to, that's what I do. It's kind of like promote these things. All right. So let me ask you the big thing that I forgot to ask the first guy. Do you have any UFO or ghost stories?
Yeah, you said that in the thing.
Oh, I think I did. Yeah.
Well, I thought you were joking when you said that, because I asked you what to prepare, and you're like, if you have any UFO or ghost stories. I thought you were just being funny.
No.
He is being funny
because I think everybody has either seen an alien or has something that was like a paranormal, like that had to be a ghost or that had to be, and we can tell some of our, like we had one at our college house, that remember that ghost Nancy. Steve,
I don't remember any of the names.
So, Aaron, you've had to have heard a ghost story. Somebody's had it.
Well, I'm kind of a skeptic, but
good.
The only one that, and I couldn't tell enough of the details to be a real meaningful story, but to at least, I guess, try to emphasize my point. My aunt and uncle had, when they were first married, I mean, they're like my parents' age, so they're 70 or whatever now.
Yeah.
They lived in this house somewhere in Toledo, and like the furniture's like sliding across the room and getting knocked over, and all of this stuff.
That's like poltergeist, right?
Yeah. And they ended up like having, I don't know, somebody from, the paranormal department at University of Toledo or something come in and do all this stuff, and fast forward to, I guess, the punchline. They're like, yeah, get the hell out of this house, because they had a young son or whatever, and they're like, get out of this house. And so they got out of this house, and stories like that, like my uncle is not a like he wouldn't believe it, otherwise he wouldn't believe that. He's a pretty straight shooter kind of guy, explanation, everything.
Yeah.
And like, he won't even talk about it.
Really?
So
Really?
then it's like stuff like that. And I'm like, well, maybe it, if it impacts, if you have an experience like that and it impacts you so strongly to the point where you don't even want to talk about it, then, well, yeah, it probably is real. But see, I've never had anything. But I
would think that that's your aunt and uncle, and they don't come across as insane, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, so they're normal people. It's one thing if they're like, okay, that guy's kind of a weirdo,
Yeah,
so,
that's your weird uncle.
My weird
this is
uncle,
your normal uncle.
Well,
that's your weird.
I mean, don't get me wrong. In case he listens to this, he's pretty weird. But
well, I mean, there's a good weird and a bad weird.
Yeah.
So how's your mom? How's
your
mom doing? How's your mom and dad? They
she's
good?
Great. Yeah,
they happy? No. They love their grandkids. They come to stuff.
Yep. No, she's great. They're both great. My parents are in good health. We just all rented a house down in Florida for a week.
Really?
Great. So my parents and my whole family and my sister and her kids and husband and
I bet that was a blast.
Yeah, nice. We just so we see them all the time because they.
That's cool.
So are you a big Ohio State fan?
Yeah, I love Ohio State.
You're big Ohio State.
Yeah, big.
My dad volunteered at the shoe for many years.
Yeah,
he did. He was an usher.
An usher. Yeah.
Your dad was?
Oh yeah, he was an usher till they said, "All right, Ed, you only got one leg. Why don't you go work in a vendor thing?"
I didn't know that about your dad. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Shit. I was gonna ask. Oh, so there's a brewery apparently in Columbus that I've heard. Maybe you've heard of this, or maybe not. Maybe it's news to you. That apparently it's like got a hotel attached to it.
Yeah, it's Brewdog. It's called Brewdog.
Brewdog, and you can stay in that hotel, and
you can bring your dogs.
There's a tap in the shower. Have you heard of this? You can.
I don't know that I knew that. Yeah, but
apparently you can pour beer while you're in the shower. There's beer taps in the shower.
Yeah.
Which is on my bucket list now that I know that exists. I propose that Steve and I come up to Columbus. We get a room in there. We all get in the shower and drink beer together.
That's fine. I'm okay.
We do. Our buddy Mark Rhodes that we know from college is in a band. Like, he plays guitar and he teaches guitar and he teaches vocals. Like, he's got a band that plays and
they'll play while we're in the shower drinking beer together.
In fact, Aaron, what I should tell you, if you go out sometimes in Columbus, I'm gonna send you a link to his website. He plays at a lot of places in town. He's really good. And go check him out, and then go up to him and be like, "Hey, I know Joe and Steve," and he'd be like, "What? Oh, crazy!" And he'll probably give you a French kiss right there.
Well, I'm down then. Yeah.
I was gonna say at least a hug, maybe.
No, maybe just a hug. But like you said, Steve, like did you say John Klump is another buddy of ours that's there, and then the guy who was on the previous episode of this, Aaron Sinclair. I didn't know he was in Columbus till we got on the podcast. And he went to college with us, and he's a software guy too. But was in theater world. What a small world, man. It's so cool. This is great. We gotta catch up. We gotta get Matt Ruck on here at some point.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, you
and
need to do that. That's your thing.
That is Joe's thing. He can
he
can corral some kittens.
So okay, I think what I'm gonna do is let's try it. Let's just end this. I think we've got plenty of content. Let's just have a reunion on Facebook Messenger. You good with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything you want to say to go? Like, anything you want listeners to know about you?
Oh man, no.
That's a good way to end it. We're gonna have a private Zoom. We're gonna have a private messenger call that nobody's gonna hear about. Let's Steve and I'll talk about it on the next episode when we get Aaron Moody finally thinks I'm not spamming him. So I think I'm just gonna I'll end this and I'll call you both on Messenger. All right.
That's great.
Stay at your computer. You can poop if you want. I think we're good. Steve, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for hanging out, Aaron.
Yeah, this was a blast. Thanks for getting in touch.
Nice.
Great. Great to see you both.
We'll
Matt Truman Ego Trip is the greatest band of all time. Buy their music.